Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pro Football Historian channel. I am your host, Flynn Given, and today we're talking about the Houston Texans, and we're going to preview their offseason, what they could be doing, how their season went, who they might draft, stuff like that. So obviously they went 4-13, and after the season they fired David Coley. Let's just go through the season first. They played Jacksonville, a game where I think they were actually underdogs. They were projected to be the worst team in the league, and they came in here and kind of dominated this game. Uh, I messed up and didn't click the box score. So I know they intercepted Trevor Lawrence 3 times in this game. Lawrence threw 51 times, and Taylor, took care of the ball, 2 touchdowns, no sacks. I'm sorry, no picks, one sack, and they ran the ball all right. You know, game they controlled, probably arguably their best game of the year. Uh, from entire team aspect. Following week they played the Browns, and they actually, when Tyrod Taylor was out there in this game, they did fairly well. We're in a competitive game. You could see half it was the same score, 14-14. And then Davis Mills had to go in through an interception. Didn't even complete half his passes. Big difference. One incompletion for Tyrod Taylor when he was out there. Also had a rushing touchdown as well as a passing one. But Mayfield, 2 incompletions. I believe this is the game actually Mayfield got hurt. But yeah, they were at least competitive in this game. They were competitive for a decent amount. Their defense was a little underrated. They were just on the field so much that their stats don't look as good. I think they were like 24th or something. The yards or points, and you look at some of these opponents, and just their offense was pathetic a lot of the game. So this was a Thursday game, and this is Davis Mills' first start. It was okay later in the game. The Panthers just pulled away. The Panthers, resulted in a 3-0 start. Went downhill from there, but they just couldn't get in the end zone. The Texans, while the Panthers, kind of closing out the game with 10 points in the fourth quarter. And they played Buffalo. This was a complete blowout, 40-0. Could not stop Josh Allen. Besides like a pick they had, they had if you look at the rushing yards the Bills had, they're not a great rushing team. 61 from Moss, 79 from Singletary, 41 from Josh Allen himself. Mitchell Trubisky had a rushing touchdown. Zach Moss had a rushing touchdown, so not good. 4 interception for Davis Mills. Awful performance. They were just overclassed, outmatched, however you want to put it. Now on to this game. Again, they're competitive. Last year, they actually won the Texans with Deshaun Watson. This year, very close for most of the game. The Patriots just came back and won it. One of the better games for Mac Jones from, leading his team in a comeback. Maybe not statistically at best, but, Davis Mills just did what he wanted to Bill Belichick's defense, or, whoever you would call is running it. Steve Belichick's also there. So, yeah, and the chances to win this game, they ultimately didn't. Then they play the Colts. Bring the Colts game up. This game, they, again, no chance of winning. Could not stop the Colts. Colts opened it up the first quarter, 51-yard Paris Campbell touchdown. Davis Miller had to throw it a lot, and it didn't go so well for him. And Carson Wentz played pretty good, and they ran the ball with Jonathan Taylor very well. Jonathan Taylor over 10 yards to carry. So, yeah, right now it's like a mixed bag. They got some competitive games after after the week one game, fought with the Browns a little bit, kind of competed with the Panthers, then got blown out by the Bills, and then competed with the New England, a game they could have, maybe even should have won, and then got blown out by the Colts. Another game they got blown out by is the Cardinals, a way better team at this point. They just made them go to 7-0. Texans, got a safety early on, but 3 points after that. Mills didn't have an awful game. They just didn't have much success offensively. And Kyler Murray, 3 touchdowns, did have an interception. But again, could not stop the running in some of these games. Again, the teams are up, so they have multiple opportunities to try to run it. So from that standpoint, are they that bad, honestly, against the run? It's kind of hard to, argue. The only thing you look is like the competitive games. Could they stop them or not? And they played ultimately the Super Bowl champions in the Rams. I think they competed in this game. Oh, actually, I'm completely wrong. They just scored 22 late in the game in garbage time. So just another game where they couldn't do much. You can see the Rams ran the ball probably pretty well. Darrell Henderson, 90 yards. Sonny Michel, 40. You got Robert Woods on some carries. Buddy Howe even got some carries. And Stafford had a great day. The Texans and Mills didn't play too bad, honestly. Just got sacked 5 times, and they couldn't run the ball because they were just down the whole game. And then they played Miami. You could say they kind of competed. They just couldn't muster much on offense. Miami couldn't either, but this was like kind of the beginnings of the winning streak for the Dolphins. This was a very odd game with a turnover. There's some ugly interceptions in this game. Jacoby Brissett was playing 2 interceptions. Tyrod Taylor, who usually takes care of the ball pretty well, had some, I think he just tossed one to Jerome Baker, if I'm correct, on the linebacker for the Dolphins. Maybe I can sort it by interceptions. So, yep, Jerome Baker. I remember he had one on the sidelines. Was just really just tossed to him. There's some other interceptions in this game. It was just a messy game, if you want to call it that. Tyler Taylor even got sacked 5 times. Jacoby Brissett got sacked 4 times. And one of the worst running teams, the Dolphins couldn't run the ball. So you could see the Texans, this game shut down the run. Miami shut down their run as well. Very ugly game. I guess they competed, but ultimately did not win this game. Sorry about that. I just blacked out a bit.